The story so far. I've been bumbling around in this game trying to figure out what the hell it's about and what to do, and not really coming up with much. And the players haven't been coming up with much either. There's a couple of players who have kind of gotten nothing so far in their direction. Nobody's got any points yet, of course, because they selected higher values up here, and thereby set their goals high enough that it's going to take some concentrated effort to get those scores up there. But I've raged a lot. Here's the thing. There is something very cool underlying this game. Something that reminds me a little bit of some of the Winsome games, which is that in some of the Winsome games and things like Chicago Express and whatnot, you can do something which is sort of an offer to other players. You put something out there, you're going to gain something, maybe they're going to gain something too, and you can mutually grow an advantage from that. This has that kind of atmosphere to it, right? With these tracks, if you're on the same track, or if you're operating to put the same intention card. Looked like an intervention to me for some reason. If you're working on the same intention cards, you're looking to try to express a way of some kind of shared cooperation so that you can both get something out of it. I like that. I have no problem with that. Here's the thing. In those Winsome games, the reason that works is that there's a simple and intuitive structure to the game. I'm trying to build track that goes someplace where I can make money or whatever. Here, the problem is that there isn't something that's so clear and obvious that sticks out that you're trying to do so that the more the addition, so it doesn't become additional layers to the game. So, right, you can sit down and play a Winsome style game and say, well, I'm going to just try to do this, and then you start seeing, opportunities to work with someone else, and you see where they develop, and you let them come out. Those games take a little bit of time to develop, and it becomes clear what those opportunities are within play. And the basic structure is intuitive. I'm trying to connect track up. I'm trying to make money. And then the other parts emerge as the game proceeds. And then, the second time you play, you kind of know what you can, what an offer means and whatever. It can still be AP-inducing and mind-racking, what to set your stock values at to be able to get people, to be interested in what you're doing. Everybody's got to know the game relatively well to play at that level. No question about that. But here, there's no stepping off point. There's no little step to take you there. No basic idea of what you're trying to do. It just buries you in systems that are all focused on that so much. That it's just impossible for me to approach. It may be an okay game for other people who are willing to put that time to try to understand what the fuck the designer really means by all of this in terms of what they're presenting, or to just play the abstract under these circumstances. But I think a much simpler game could be put forward that would express very similar capabilities to what's here, without the same overload in terms of what you're facing right off the bat. Again, maybe that's not a big deal for heavy Euro players. I ain't one. I dislike almost everything that's come out as a Euro since about 2005. So, So anyway, that last bit I recorded just after I loaded up the prior video. So now I'm actually ready to start doing something. Again, we're on blue as our first player. Okay, but we have to make the intention selections. Let's think about just going around and not worry about the player order for this because it doesn't matter. What's going on? So blue has not selected all their choices. The disc is over here, and it's near rockets and feathers. Blue is in rockets. Of course, I don't have anything there, but I think that's probably my best move, is to try to score something I've already committed to, rather than playing around with something else. Again, I can't tell you for sure. For red, red is sitting, again, in 2. They're in bishops and shields. Bishops and shields are both kind of far away. However, remember you can skip 2. I could get to shields. So that seems like a better call for what's going on. This guy's green. Green has also put on 2. They're in feathers and shields. Now, feathers are real close. Probably a lot of people are going to go for them, but I already have shields, so being able to score feathers is more valuable to me anyway, and it's closer because I get the 6 extra in addition to whatever, I get in my big score. Finally, yellow. Yellow is sitting on all 3 of theirs, and they have all 3 of these in play. Now, feathers and rockets are the easiest to get at. I don't have any of either of these. Let's look at where I am on the board. Rockets are more important to me. Let me go for those. And yeah, I'm just going with what they look like to me. And look, I forgot that I should flip these over to begin with. Performance, blue. I only have 2 cubes. I am not going to be able to control much. The other guy with rockets only has 2 cubes. We're probably not going to succeed. What does that mean? Well, I think what it means is I should take one of these. Switch stakes with the second stake. Let's just move back a stake. Move to the first stake. I don't think I can do that because I'm in the first stake. I know you're not allowed to do one that you physically can't do. I don't know if that has the same problem. But I will be looking for one of these. They're not, if I play for this, they're not going to be where I want them to be. So the only one that could help me is switch with the second stake. That'll move me further back in the order. I'm going to grab it. I'm not thrilled about this because I'm not far enough back. It may not open up my realm for this, but it's all I can think of. Because if I pray for rockets, I'm probably not going to... Well, I already have rockets. If I do a prayer, who knows? But I'm not going to be able to get anything because I don't have an intention that's going to be likely to be played. So that puts me on green. Green is looking for feathers. No one else is playing for those right now. I could pray. I have one of these. These I can play like this. They give me extra cubes, essentially, after I've used them once to trigger something. Red also has one. That's an interesting concept. These are both deep in the order. So I'm going to drop one there and start working on getting that there. I didn't really look to see how far down my options were when I made those picks. Again, there's so many different facets you have to balance and understand that when you think you're doing something right, you're probably not. You know? Okay. Over here, rocket ships. Well, rocket ships are a little further down. Might be able to actually trigger them if I get lucky. But I can't play here. If I play on one of these, I give up my chance. I'm going to play here. Leave two options open for rockets. Maybe I get one, maybe I don't. Probably not. That puts me... Oh, shit. That was yellow. Fucking hell. Okay. We're on red, actually. Okay, red has two things. I have a capacity with this to kind of delay game by playing these onto something. I could play it here. I can move towards that. But again, I want to kind of hold on to it. Red has not put themselves on the board for their third choice. I don't know that I want to make that third choice yet. Do I want to get another one of these? Well, what am I missing? I have bishops, but I don't have this, but I'm already working on that. So there's nothing really advantageous there yet. If we don't fill these out, the game's going to end pretty soon. And then I want to look at victory points, right? So I'm looking at this, which I'm doing pretty well at 15 points, versus him, who's sitting at 12 points. So I'm not really opposed to all the prayers being gone and the game ending too early. Not necessarily at all. What would I want to do? What would Jesus do? He would get nailed to the cross, not burned at the stake. Okay. All assuming that he's not fictitious, of course. Unlike these martyrs who are well enough documented that they seem, and aren't, largely stories taken from thousands of years before that are being reiterated. Oh, yeah, let's... This is where I want it. No reason to play more there. Oh, no, it isn't. It's where I don't want it. All right. I'm going to push this forward. See what happens. Now it goes to gold. And I had done something with gold, but I don't remember what it was. And it may not apply anymore, right? So what I'd really like to do is get rocket ships going. Unfortunately, I'm going to put it so that I have 2 shots at rocket ships. I think that's what I did before. Okay. Back to blue. Blue has nothing left, so they jump into the fire. Green, and that was probably a mistake to burn my pieces on this, but I couldn't figure out anything to do. Green is looking to get feathers. Feathers are a long way away. I'm going to play here. I don't know if it's right, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time thinking and trying to puzzle out what other people are going to do. I feel that way lies madness, although that is where the potential beauty in this game really is. All right, to red. Red is looking for pushing this even further. guarantee that I get it further. I can guarantee this. This is the cool thing with the bottom of the track. You can assure yourself that you get what you want. Nobody else is playing in that. I am all good about that. I'm going to play one of these. They take up a lot of space and don't really fit on the cards right. Puts me back to yellow. Yellow's got one cube left. I'll play it here. To green. Green wants to get this. They're at that. That's at the bottom. 2 cubes gets me there. I too will play one of my dudes because if the game ends, those are worth minus 10 points, which is quite a bit. Not seeing anybody praying. It's gonna die hard here. I think that puts me to red, which is great for the people who are already scoring points, I guess. Red says, I have to take this down to the bottom. And I think that's the thing. If you have a fair number of cubes, you can guarantee you get what you want. You look around. If you're the only person going for it, go ahead. Get your free thing rather than play around with these. Okay. So that's red. And just beginning to get, what the mechanisms, how you operate, within the constraints of this game, right? Just beginning to get it. The game's over already. I mean, there's people who have lost because they didn't get it and they didn't fall into it luckily. All right, yellow can't do anything. Green. Green has 2 cubes left. I want these bugger moves. I play. Red. Red's got what they want there. I could just pass. Do I want more? Well, I need a cube to be able to move there if need be. So, and I'm going to be going late in the turn, which may be interesting, may not be. Do I want to breathe or pray or whatever? Is the game going to be over this turn? I mean, that's another thing. 2, 4, 6, 8. Because, okay, no, I'm wrong. I'm not getting 9 points. Nobody's getting any points. Oh, boy. Yeah, this is going to end at a 0, I think. Or negative. Do I want to do anything else? Yeah, I forgot about that. Well, where can I play? I can't play on bishops. I can't play on shields. If I play on one of these other things, I'm kind of dedicating myself towards them. I don't know. Where am I on rocket ships and feathers? Rocket ships I want to burn. That's where everybody else is. I'm not going to get a whole lot of points on rocket ships. And I'm not going to be able to get one this turn. Same thing with feathers. Feathers I'm on burn. That's probably not going to move too far. Oh, God. I have no fucking clue. I'm going to fucking pass because... And you know what I keep forgetting? The last person gets to put 2 intentions down. Keep fucking forgetting it. Oh, well. Okay, so green is last. What does green want to do? I've got everything I want. I could pray, or I could save one of these to allow me to move better. I'm going to save one to allow me to move better because whatever. We pass. That does what? We're done with the performance phase, and we go to the response phase. And here, we start over again at the first player. First player is yellow. Oh, no, we check to see what's up there. So, feathers and shields. Feather. Shield. Okay. Yellow's first. They can't do anything. Great. Blue is next. I have one of these. I could take a Dudemabinger, but there are no Dudemabingers available. Oh, sucks to be me. Alright. Well, I didn't think second was going to get me there, and it didn't. But I hoped maybe somebody else would play me and move me around or something. Who cares? Who knows? Again, it's just not worth it. It's like, it comes to the point where I just want to, if I was playing this, at the game store or whatever, I'd be on about my third beer at this point and just fucking around because it wouldn't be too different. Okay. I match, which means I'm allowed to take me a feather. I want me a feather. What feather do I want? Well, I look. He's looking at these thingamabobs are both next to what he wanted mabobs. I've got a cube. I could run away before I go. I don't think I'm allowed to run away after I go. That would be a really dicky move, wouldn't it? That would be super awesome. So, what is this? You may move the spirit marker so that it is adjacent to a tile. You play the breath cube to advance it. You may advance it 1 or 2 spaces. Yeah, fuck it, man. I'm going to be a dicky dude. All right. So I'm going to play this to get there. I collect this. That is, actually, it doesn't fucking matter. That is one of these on my color. I'm the green player, so this moves forward 1. Only 3 more to go, man. The game's not going to last that long, I'm telling you. And then I'm going to play a cube here and run away. And there's no room for red to play a cube. So, red gets screwed. Too bad. And has nothing they can play. Cool. All right. We go to the inhale and exhale phase. Okay. First, we're going to be getting rid of breath cubes. 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. 3, 6, 7, 8. Boom! There's 2 left. What order do they get played in? The game's over, man. Awesome. Should have left it on the same video, right? Discard spectator and hymn cards from the game. Any spectator tiles on the hymn cards from the game. That's these guys. Gone. Collect any expended breath cubes from luminary spaces on the board and/or cards. Only collect from hastened spirit if there's 2 there. There are. Excellent. These get dealt out in reverse order. Red gets 1. Great. Green gets 1. Too bad. Yellow doesn't have any. Game's over. Game's over. All avatars go to their stakes. This is going to get reset. Move the turn marker top of the stake. Discard all sermons remaining in players' hands. We did that too early. The hymns and sermons go back. No biggie. We don't have to do that. Return all your intention cards. Yeah. There we go. And the score is 0. Because nobody has reached their point. Ta-da! Okay, so one thing we learned is that it is almost impossible, at least if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, to get anything out here to the 6s and 9s, and that the low score, the low point things are going to work really, really well comparatively. Cool. Great. We have total score of 0 for everyone. I think everyone hated this game equally. I sure did. No, I really don't know. I mean, but we ended up with a 4-way tie in misery, and that is just about fucking perfect, because that's about what I feel is this game is just misery-inducing. So is Bizarre for me, but I do respect Bizarre a lot. I think it's a fairly simple design and everything. It's just the thinking that's involved in it is not pleasant to me. I know what I'm supposed to do in it. This game, I am beginning to get hints. It would take 3 or 4 more miserable plays for me to get beyond. I'm beginning to get hints of it and maybe come up with something where I start to understand it. My next time playing, I'd be playing on one of these levels. I would not be playing up at the 6 and 9 level. I probably wouldn't be trying to advance those very far either. Now, have we gotten everything? I mean, for real? We got one on there. We got one on here. We got one on there. That's it. Yeah, those are the only ones that were played. You know, I'm sure, or I assume, that people who have played it a few times or who can magically understand these kind of games somehow, just automatically, like with no context or anything to lead them to it, there's chances that these will get up there, but it just feels like there's so much sort of interplayer randomness as to what's going to go where. Now, it took me forever to even fucking figure out that, hey, these cards only matter what's on the bottom of them, because that's the thing that you can control, and that's what I should be going for. It took an entire game for me to get through to realize that, right? And realizing that, yeah, maybe that first turn could have generated some plays on this where everybody was playing on it. Maybe they would have all picked something towards the bottom that they could guarantee that they could get it. But, you know, it took an entire game to get through and realize what is an entry-level piece of information, that there's no context about the game that helps you get to that. Right? There's nothing in the storyline that's going on here that lets you realize that, oh yeah, but what's important is the potentially last hymn in the hymn book. I mean, it kind of makes sense. The last hymn in the hymn book is the important one, but it's the last one that's written that's important. Well, it's the last one that might get written that sparks something. But, you know, I mean, you could keep playing and learn one little fucking piece of information like that each time and keep going through the misery until finally you know enough about the game that you can be playing fairly in this field of, you know, offering negotiations in the same way that you do in, say, a Win Some Train game, probably midway through the first game, you know, where you're starting to see what the complexities of the game are. I'm sort of seeing them, but I don't know enough about, you know, the very core simple mechanisms, like how to fucking get through the game and not have a 0 score. Weren't apparent. Now they are. You know, you think there's these 4 spaces. Well, I'll put it on, you know, the 3rd or 4th because those are going to work. No, none of them worked because everybody's a doofus, right? Nobody knew what the fuck was going on, so we got nowhere. But I still don't know that I could safely put, you know, on the 6th space, say, on the next game and expect to get anywhere with it, right? I don't know what the other players will do. They may not be, like in the game of Merchant Adventure I played, they might not be willing to give anyone an advantage over themselves. That's a fairly common experience in board games, right? Unless you set things up so that you've got the good score and took a lesser space, which, you know, some players tried to do and whatnot, because that does make sense right away. But not everybody did. Right off the bat, blue, you know, let's take the 9-pointer and the Big Ten. It's the best stuff. Well, great, but you got nothing. Yeah, but so did everybody else, so fuck you, man. All right, that's it.